No, did you see Aime Leon Dore? Their new capsule collection with New Balance is like a running collection.
Yeah, I saw Joe post that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Looks awesome.
Wait, that's what that shoe is?
This is a New Balance that was created with
Leon Dior.
It's Aime Leon Dore or Aime Leon Dore. I don't know how it's actually pronounced. Leon Dore is correct. I think it might be Amy.
Ame.
Because those
Aime.
each of those are names that are apparently personal to the founder of the brand. Leon
So I just insulted them.
Dore, and then I think Amy.
Their
Would be-
children?
Maybe like a wife and 2 kids.
Man.
That's what I heard from
Hold
someone.
on. You just brought up running on this podcast.
No, I brought up a designer brand that I like.
You just segued into what I've always wanted to talk about here.
We're not doing an episode on running.
Why?
You know why I did that?
Because you
know what I
love
just
me.
did? Yeah. I found common ground. I said, look at this cool designer brand that I like. They're doing a running capsule collection. Because I love you.
So when are you running your half marathon?
If I can do it in Aime Leon Dore from head to toe, then that would actually be awesome.
Deal.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Rallycast. It's a podcast for artists and entrepreneurs and everybody in between. I'm Steven.
And I'm Eric.
And if you're watching this episode right now, you've probably already figured out what we're going to talk about today.
Our new set.
The new set.
It's here.
We are here. We're
First
sitting in
episode.
it.
It's fantastic.
Feels really good.
It's super wild. I've done some stuff in this already. I've shot some stuff, but having it set for Rally Caps and actually doing an episode now is the wildest feeling.
Yeah. Man. Okay.
Well, if you don't watch it on YouTube, just
Yes.
go to YouTube real quick.
Yep.
Rally Caps podcast, search it up on YouTube.
It's linked in the show notes. If you're in Spotify right now, go to the show notes, find the link. If
Just
you're in
see what
Apple
it looks like.
Podcasts, go check it out. We'll have photos of it everywhere as well. Eric
Yeah.
just posted it a few days ago, a YouTube video, like 10 minutes, breaking down how he constructed everything. But we're going to talk about all of that and that progress and our future intentions with this today, longer form.
Yeah, it feels like everything that we've dreamed up in this space is already just coming true.
Yeah.
Like virtually every part of it.
Yeah.
Like every time we were like, oh, well, since that exists, we'll probably be able to do X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
And then a week later, someone contacts us and is like, hey, can we shoot that thing in your new studio?
Yes, you can. Because it looks great now.
Because, if you follow along with this podcast or any of our individual YouTube channels, we made it very clear that this is going to be a multi-purpose space. It's not just going to be where we podcast.
Yep.
This is just one small part of what 602 is and will be. So this is going to be a multi-function space of commercial work and YouTube talking heads and B-roll and commercial photography, commercial filmmaking, narrative work, audio, music, just anything creative that we want to do. This will be our playground to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. We just got off the phone with a friend yesterday, and he's very interested in doing a job here in Chicago, hiring Steven and I as sort of DP, camera ops, and he just saw this space that we're sitting in right now and was like, could we make that a room? And I was like, did I not just say a week and a half ago we could turn this thing into what looks like a room very easily?
Because it is a room.
Yeah.
We built a room.
Yeah.
And we can use it for whatever we want.
So already seeing like it's very much one of those things. If you build it, they will come kind of vibe. And yeah, it's already been so versatile, and even just some talking heads that we've shot already, like the versatility of having 4 separate walls, being able to eventually hang stuff from the open ceiling with beams across. It's very good.
Feels really special. Definitely feels like the most functional space that we'll ever, well, up until this point, that we've gotten to use so far.
Yeah.
As far as how beautiful it looks, how easily we can control lighting, audio, the way that we can rig everything up. In here, it is our own. And it's different than the gear room that we've shot a lot of our talking heads and YouTube video material in the past, which is almost similar to this, and where it's just kind of like a blank box that we just rigged up a ton of lights and mics and all that stuff. But this is different because it's in the new studio and we built it ourselves, and we can rig up stuff in the ceiling more because we have these cross beams. It's what I keep looking up at right now if you're watching the
It
video.
is weird to sit here and look at them.
It's awesome, but we can use any of that to clamp friction arms and lights and mics, and we can just literally build it to whatever spec that we need at any point in time. And that's really cool because that makes our job so much easier and repeatable. Like Chad and I were just talking about before this, getting smaller, like the Aperture Amaran little lights, like the tiny ones, and putting one in each corner with a little softbox on it. And they just live up there because they're lightweight. They're powerful enough to light us
There could be hair lights in these corners too.
easily. Like easily. There's so many ways that we can shape it to exactly what we need.
You can put
that's
them on
so
top
cool.
of the beam so they don't even infringe on like
Easily.
the height of the room.
Yeah.
And you can just take them off or just clamp them.
Yeah.
You don't even need to screw them in.
It's awesome. It is so awesome.
Yeah.
It's just really exciting, and it's cool to be in this excitement right now because it's so fresh.
The hard work is done, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes this stuff so easy now. It was a whole week of a lot of work. If
Week
you
plus. It was a
watch
lot.
the video I made, just kind of breaking all of it down, it was a good bit of sacrificing time doing other things that we normally do. Things that really costing us more than just the expense of what it cost to build it, but not pursuing other money making endeavors in the process. And but now that it's built, like the functionality, the versatility of being able to easily modulate it is wild. Super, super cool. I can't wait to just do all sorts of weird things like with the space and like challenge ourselves creatively to do tons of really
Yeah.
interesting, different stuff.
Yeah. This feels like a step forward in the direction that we've wanted to go in for a while, but tearing down creative barriers
Yes.
so we can streamline our processes as much as we possibly can, all the while opening up creative doors that we've never had access to before.
Even people DMing us already or commenting on videos and being like, all right, I'm going to come visit because they just want to see this.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like an episode guest or whatever as they're here.
Yeah. And that's the other really cool element of this is that no one has really done this for a show like we do within this niche.
Yeah.
A couple other people have.
You have on a broader scale like a Colin and Samir.
Right.
But they're like creators.
Yes.
Big
Different.
umbrella.
This is a little more niche down. It's a little less meta.
Yes.
This is a lot of very practical day-to-day, like following our own lives kind of stuff that we're unpacking here. A lot of real-world experience, talk about things as we're building them to give really raw, unfiltered BTS insight into what it is that we're doing here on a number of different levels. So I don't know. It's just, this feels really unique and groundbreaking in like a really cool way. And it's really good to be here.
It was also, in the middle of construction too, we brought a potential commercial client in the space. I did. You guys were gone.
Cosmo,
yeah,
Ryan,
and we
right?
just
Yeah.
he toured downstairs, he toured up
Yeah.
here, and he's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like you do kind of have like everything at your fingertips. And just like think about what it's going to be like when it's fully built out in both places, and walking a commercial client through this and just be like, world's your oyster. What do you want? You know, like we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. We have this set, we have these lights, we have these mics, we have
6 different colored walls, and we have couches and chairs
paper.
and lamps, and we got all the microphones, and we got a podcast set up and all this stuff. And we got even just having some of our musical equipment here too, and just having that as a thing that's on display for us to use whenever we need. Just the visual of that is really interesting too, because you never know who sees that and then makes a connection. You go back and forth. We end up doing more music.
music videos in both spaces.
Easily, yeah.
Very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know we talked about this space specifically, like not renting it out for shoots, but I don't know.
I think what will probably end up happening will be more of like a rental by proxy.
Association.
Yeah, because we are the ones leading the project, and you can use our space because we'll be in the space as we're shooting the thing because you hired us as a package deal.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like what we've already talked about with a couple people that are interested in hiring us for stuff. Like, the location is something that we can include because we have 2 distinct locations now. And the second one is an absolute chameleon. We can shape it into whatever you want.
Question for you.
Question for me.
Does a space like this start to melt away more of your imposter syndrome?
Nope. No, it does.
It does.
It does a little bit.
Okay,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
a great answer.
I just really,
Really
as soon
good
as,
comedic timing.
As soon as I knew where you were going with that, I was like, it's going to be a nope with a strong. Yeah, it absolutely does. It still doesn't feel real in a lot of ways because it's still very new. I think I'm still processing the fact that it even exists currently because, you know, all multi-purpose use cases aside, at the end of the day, the fact that Rally Caps was the thing that motivated this specific set being built in the first place is really wild to me
Yeah.
because that's something that we started so long ago and started in two separate states. And now we're sitting in our own set doing it.
I think there's a very real
That's really
possibility
cool.
by just a brand seeing this setup
Yeah.
that they're going to want to be a part of it and maybe want to sponsor.
Yep.
Like we haven't had many of those opportunities come to the gate yet, but we're hoping and planning on that being part of a business model with this podcast. Brands that we know and love and want to work with. But even just getting this studio, the first video I made, and where I'm just like, "Hey, Aperture, are you watching?" And then the next day they're like, "Yeah, we are."
We're watching right now. Do you want some lights? We're
Yeah.
like, yes.
And
Hey, thank you, Aperture. We
Seriously.
love
And now like they're helping just, outfit the studio with light and sound.
Yep.
And again, one of those like I think a lot of people are really obsessed, and I have been and talked about this in the past of like getting connected with more creative people with brands, how to pitch them, how to actively do something towards them. I think there's also something to be said about putting your head down and doing your own work, whether it be the art that you make or functional real things like this, and that getting the attention of people and brands as well in a maybe even more powerful way because the other one's so loud. You know?
you. It's what you said earlier. It's if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
We built it.
Yeah. And this is for sure, maybe not, I don't know. This is probably one of the top 3 hardest projects we will do in this space, if not top 2.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope it gets easier from here.
We haven't fully planned out what's going to be to the left of us.
Yeah, I think the other one that will contend with this is
top-down light's gonna be
rigging the
tough.
Godlight kind of thing.
Yeah.
With whatever we discuss with Aperture, will be challenging for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't even think it will be quite as demanding as this.
Yeah, it's definitely simpler. I think the issues we're going to run with that is these are 14-foot ceilings.
Yeah.
12-foot ceilings tall that we're sitting in right now. But the spot we're talking about to the left of us is like a 22-foot cavern.
Yeah, it's somewhere in like the 18 to 20 range.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's very tall.
Yeah,
It's very
you don't
tall.
normally see rooms that tall unless you're like in a ballroom or something.
Yeah.
And so it's
a
really
lot.
intimidating height-wise. It's like looking at Steven, and you don't have access to ladders that tall. So I'm like, do we rent a genie? Those blue extendable.
Yep.
I don't think we can even fit one of those through the door. Like, I don't
No.
know. But we do have the freight elevator, so if we get a small one, maybe.
Yeah.
If we have that, then we're fine.
Yeah.
But
it's very
that sounds really difficult. Like, where do you even rent one of those? I don't know. I love that. Most of the time, I hate exploring new things like that. But when it comes to this stuff, it gets me really excited to like go research something new that I'm like just completely unfamiliar with.
Yeah, we'll have to get a very large ladder.
I think the way my brain works is that like if it's a functional project,
Yeah.
something that like we're doing with our hands and it's physical labor, it doesn't intimidate me as much.
Okay.
But when it comes to like camera gear, creativity, software, that stuff, I'm like, I don't
thank you.
No.
Yep.
I'd rather do the functional, do it with my hands to like solve the problem
For
in
sure.
a stupid way.
For
that
sure.
gets the job done.
Yeah.
It's a very Casey Neistat approach for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely part of his brand.
Yeah.
Part of Van Neistat's brand as well.
And we definitely want to incorporate some of that kind of philosophy into this space too.
Yeah. Just stuff that works.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the purpose of this studio to begin with. And you mentioned this in your video. There's a lot of people in Creative Club. And that's the purpose of Creative Club is to be a social space to a certain degree. And the purpose of this space is to be a functional space. It's where we go when we actually need to record stuff, where we save time by not having to rig up and tear down and repeat and repeat and repeat and just waste time in the in-between. So this is doing exactly what it's supposed to do and what we set out for it to do. And it is just the coolest thing. I just keep staring at it because it's so exciting to actually have this built now. And now that this is out of the way, like we already alluded to, because this is one of the larger projects, it makes everything else going forward feel so much more achievable.
Stuff you could do in a day.
So easily.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting.
Yeah.
We're here. We're doing it. What was your favorite part about this project? Also for context too, because, you're seeing this frame right now. You see the walls on the other side of us. These are 8 by 8 foot walls on either side. And then how far across? 13 feet
13.
On the beams up top. So if you hadn't watched Eric's video yet, which you should, that's kind of like what we're sitting in right now. You can't see the ceiling. There isn't much of a ceiling right now, but we'll be adding some beams across right above us with some acoustic paneling to help deaden things even more for this show. But yeah, what was your favorite
I was
part
so
of the
like
set?
involved in what you were saying. I wasn't thinking about my response to your question. Probably should have been doing that during that time.
I'll just keep going, man. So like,
No.
there's a rug right now below us.
Okay,
That's
so-
rad. This is an Apple box, New York style right now. That's holding up this. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
It is right. Okay. Yes. Holding up our Rode
Filmmaking.
Podcaster Pro. This little beautiful baby.
Okay, I
All
think
the
I'm ready.
multicolored lights. You're good. Okay,
I'll just
great.
do Michael Scott. I'll start the sentence and see where it goes.
Okay.
I think I just enjoyed the process overall. I really enjoyed the day where we spent 3 hours in Home Depot. There haven't been a lot of things in my life recently outside of the dock, which is a massive thing, that have really kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone. Like it's been pretty easy the past 2-3 years to kind of be like, yeah, I know how to photograph that. I know how to film that.
Yep.
I'm not really I can easily kind of go through the motions and make something nice and
For sure.
beautiful or good. And this was definitely something that forced my hand into asking other people for help, doing research, asking a lot of questions, like making myself, like humbling myself, recognizing I don't know what I'm doing. In the process of overcoming that and being on the other side of something that is honestly just better than we even imagined
Yeah.
is really, really deeply fulfilling.
Yeah.
And especially knowing that we will just have this set up for years now, is just really exciting. And it's hard to put words on it. It is a lot of work in the moment. It feels really intense, but I knew full well that if we put in that work, that we were going to see tons of fruit come from it.
Yep.
And it's not the funnest answer, but
No, it's-
I think my favorite day was just finalizing it,
Yeah.
putting the beams across and
Yeah.
like seeing it fully stable and up, especially since we went with your idea. Good call on painting the wall first, and then putting the walls up next to it. Yeah, it just made it right away feel finished.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
And it was really cool that we ended up having this natural wood look, bringing all the stuff into the space and then seeing like, oh, I guess we don't really have to finish it the way we were thinking about doing it. It looks really cool the way it is.
The contrast is really beautiful.
Yeah, the light natural wood against the black wall is sick.
And plenty of lamps too. At least one, and then a globe that glows as well.
There'll be much more in here eventually.
Yeah, what are we planning for the wall right now, roughly?
I don't know.
Okay, so we got some pennants in mind.
I don't know. I mean, I think the minimalist look looks really cool too. Just like the
It is
banners
pretty.
up there. I like the masking tape on the corners.
We're doing the masking tape.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
I mean, as soon as someone was like, dude, that's the Believe Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is the look. You're right. I didn't
great.
even think about it like that, but I think it's kind of fun.
I love when stuff like that's up on the wall. Like Fernwood has that with
Yeah.
prints in their spot.
It's great.
White border, same thing.
Yeah.
I think it looks awesome.
Couple prints, couple pennants, couple
Baseball bats.
baseball bats. Yeah, some baseball related memorabilia and stuff. Chad had a great idea to convert an old skate deck into like a little shelf to put some stuff on, some like VHS tapes of like old favorite movies and stuff. Just
Yeah.
kind of
E.T.
leaning into the
Home Alone 2.
vintage, nostalgic whole look. Definitely ET.
And
Absolutely.
Home Alone too.
Yeah. And oh yeah, of course. Of course. So yeah, I think that's basically where we're at right now. Just got to add those beams up top. take away the blue tape after we actually paint everything below it black to blend in with the floor a little bit more so you don't notice it as much.
The function is awesome. If you watch my video, how many times are we going to say that? If you watch my video, these floors are not level. So we had to shim the whole foundations of each wall to make them level across. So there's just these huge gaps in between the bottom of the wall and the floor. It's actually incredibly functional for a space like this because then we can just run cords to the outlets that are on the opposite sides of the wall.
Yep.
So
It's
that's
perfect.
fantastic. And we'll probably on the backside put like a little curtain, like a little black curtain to kind of just block light that comes through.
Yep.
Yeah. And once everything's painted black, it'll just kind of look like they're floating, which is cool.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It just feels really good. It just feels really, really good to have all of this where it's at right now because the last pieces to tighten up will be so easy by comparison. Yeah. Using a lot of cool interpretations of this already, like you mentioned earlier too, which is just exciting to see different ways that you can stage it up using the outside of the walls, like not even within this technically, but using the wall that we built, like the unfinished side for a set. It's just really exciting to see how many ways we can use this for just different looks for a number of different videos. It's really cool.
What's next? What's on our radar? What I said that really strangely.
Say Raider?
Radar.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, man.
What's on our radar?
What's on our Raider?
What kind of work are we doing next? What can they expect to be hearing about this year?
Ooh, definitely just so much doc stuff. That will be a pretty big component, especially as you and I begin to buckle down into the actual editing cave of it all. That will be a pretty, I think, consistent theme on here. And also a lot of the communal commercial work that Eugene and I are all working on together as we begin
You
to
gotta
get
always
more.
say Gene first. 'Cause it just
Eugene
sounds
and
like
I.
Eugene.
Eugene and I. So my buddy Eugene and I,
Sounds
we
like
were
two people.
down at the market. No, Eric, Gene, and I. All the commercial work that we do as the three of us will be a pretty consistent theme as well. And then as we build with Levi more, that will be probably the big three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next week we have our first like formal commercial shoot together.
Yes.
All three of us together
Yeah.
that we booked together.
Which is super exciting.
And definitely forcing our hands into incorporating sooner than later because we're like, oh, we didn't think we were going to book something this quickly together.
Here we are.
So got to do that. Because
Yep.
then we're just like sending random contracts through our own personal businesses. And it's like, we should just be formalizing all this through one entity.
Which we will soon because actually that's a really good segue because Mark recently just sent me a quick voice memo. He was listening to the last episode. He really loved it. And he thought it would be a really cool idea, as we've discussed already, to talk about the actual formalization of a group entity. Because to his point that he made, a lot of solo entrepreneurs, creative entrepreneurs are usually just staying in that solo lane and have not experienced any kind of multi-member LLC formation or a company creation that extends outside of themselves. So I think as we formalize that too, even just literally walking through the steps of how we did everything, the paperwork we had to sign, the commitments we're making to each other, could be a really cool episode to do in the future.
Yeah, because like, do we designate a CEO? Are we three CEOs?
Right,
Are we,
like-
what's our equity split? It's
Right.
just gonna be 33.3 for all of us. There's all those working questions that I haven't really thought about yet.
Yep. Name LLC.
We're gonna
want
want to consult other people.
Yeah.
We're gonna want to consult CPAs and like, is an S corp gonna be better, or should we do an LLC? Like, what's gonna make the most sense?
And we'll figure that out and let you know what we find. It'll be an adventure.
We know a good bit about that world, but not enough to just be super confident on making all the decisions by ourselves yet.
Right. So we'll aggregate that info and.
But it's been great to have solo businesses first to like have, that's a great stepping stone into recognizing what a bigger thing looks like then.
Totally.
And then to interview people like Daniel and like middle-sized companies.
Yeah.
To see like what that structure looks like.
Totally. Even talking with Ryan next week while he's on set because they're a company of 10, similar boat.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool. But yeah, I think that's basically like what's on the horizon for us. I think early May, we're planning to do some more location-related doc stuff. Probably one last trip down to Nashville.
Definitely one last trip.
Just get final interviews, final shots, pickup shots, narrations, creative ideas that we want to incorporate visually. making that trip sooner than later. And then you and I keep forgetting about this, but it's coming up soon. We got Jack Coyne's wedding coming
Yeah.
up very soon.
Yeah,
very,
June.
very soon, which is really exciting.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's going to be amazing. I cannot
Upstate
wait
New
for
York.
that. Yeah, baby.
It's gonna be a good one.
I truly cannot wait for that at all. It's going to be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Lots of YouTube.
Well, tons of YouTube.
More collaboration with Music Bed.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say the next one yet. It's not official, so I won't say it yet.
Oh, yeah, don't yet.
But that's a good one.
But that's a really good one. That's coming up soon as well.
That's one that I've dreamed about for years.
Oh, one we can talk about is maybe just more of an announcement even. I guess tickets are technically sold out by the time that you're going to hear this episode.
yeah.
But Beers and Cameras is happening in Chicago at the end of April, which is super fun, super exciting. They're like a traveling community group, local.
Traveling film circus.
It almost feels like they literally just do that all over the country. They just host these meetups, do a weekend of like film walks and brewery meetups, and just a way to connect with the local film photography community in your city, which is really
I
cool.
thought you were going to bring up Danny's premiere. I think I'm
Oh,
sick.
that's also happening. Oh,
May.
my. Dude, life is so good right now.
Yeah, throughout May. I think it's all of May. He's touring 5 cities,
Yeah.
5 or 6 cities.
Yeah.
If you
May
want to see that,
17th?
if you want to see that movie before it goes into the cave of distribution
Yeah.
and not being able to see it for a year and a half, you better hurry.
Yeah.
If it's not too late to get a premiere ticket in the city nearest you.
We'll link the Chicago one in the show notes for this as well, and the YouTube description. Get tickets while you can.
If you go to his trailer, Danny Gevirtz, his YouTube channel, if you go to the trailer of the film,
Yep.
then you can see all of the signups as well.
But you literally will not be able to watch this after these premieres until maybe mid 2024, if that.
If that.
It depends on what festivals and distribution and purchasing looks like, but we're really excited for him. He just recently dropped his trailer for that. It's going to be incredible. The Chicago premiere is May 17th,
Somewhere around there.
I think.
But he'll be in town, so he'll be in here. He'll get to see all this.
And
Super
he's
fun.
the most lovely person ever. So it's going to be really great to see him again. I thought it'd be fun to end the show with a couple shout outs to people that have been leaving reviews
Oh, yeah.
for the podcast.
Heck yeah.
Because we're nearing 100 reviews on Apple Podcasts.
Are you serious?
Well, nearing. We're at 72.
Okay.
72 is pretty great.
Still, that's good,
We're like
yeah.
3/4 of the way there. So maybe this is an incentive to get some more reviews going.
Man, this is
We'd love to hear
smart,
from more of you. But hey, shout out to his handle is, I think it's Andrew. His name is Andrew, but for Andrew _. Thank you so much for leaving a review. S. Crane, thank you so much for leaving a review.
These are all 5 stars, right?
All 5 stars.
Okay.
5 stars across the board.
Definitely don't thank them if it's like a 2-star.
Heck no. You kidding me?
Yeah, piss off.
Colton Carr, Life with Dominic, and Humble Woodworking Co. Humble Woodworking Co. Had to get a clean take.
I think I've read that one. I think I read that review.
Yes. Those are the 5 most recent ones.
Because they do woodworking, and so we don't do. Well, now we do.
Hey, now we do. We're totally woodworkers now.
Hey, they're gonna love this episode.
Yeah. But hey, thank you all sincerely for leaving reviews. If you are listening to this, you want to leave a review yourself, please do. That'd be super sweet. Share it with a friend also. Get the message out there. Get the show out there a little bit more. We've got weekly episodes coming out every Monday. So please stay tuned. Please share it. Please like and subscribe to it. Thank you so much for being a part of the team.
Scatter batter.
Scatter batter. Man. Got me to repeat it.
Yeah, dude. It's been like 2 months since I said that. Water buddies.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's get hydrated. Baby.
Hydration is hot. That's an oxymoron.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It was like the nerdiest thing you've ever said.
Stay cool. San Diego.
Do you know what San Diego means?
The Diego?
No.
No.
Do you know Anchorman?
I don't know this. Wait.
It means a whale's San Diego. You don't remember this?
I don't actually. But Wales means the episode's over. So
Just keep that in, but bleep it out. Because everyone will know what I'm talking about.
yeah, they will.